The Mediterranean region is bathed in sunlight for much of the year, with cloudless skies, glittering coastlines, and the kind of golden afternoons that make sunscreen ads practically write themselves. Yet, oddly enough, countries along the Mediterranean, Greece, Italy, Spain, southern France, tend to report lower rates of skin cancer compared to sun-rich countries like Australia, the United States, or even parts of Northern Europe. It's a paradox that seems to defy basic UV logic. More sun, less cancer? How is that possible? The answer, as with most good paradoxes, lies not in a single cause, but in a subtle web of contributing factors: cultural habits, diet, genetics, and lifestyle all playing in sync like a well-rehearsed village band. To start, the Mediterranean sun may shine brightly, but the people under it tend to behave differently than their fair-skinned, sun-chasing counterparts elsewhere. In many of these cultures, direct sun exposure is something to be managed, not maximized. You won't find hordes of locals tanning at noon. You'll find them in the shade, under a tree, or inside enjoying lunch as part of the traditional siesta rhythm that conveniently avoids peak UV hours. Beach visits often happen in the morning or late afternoon, and children are taught early on to cover up, not strip down, when the sun is high. These sun habits are passed down with the same reverence as recipes, and they matter. Avoiding sunburn in childhood is one of the most important ways to reduce lifetime melanoma risk, and Mediterranean families tend to enforce sun safety with less of the tan is beautiful cultural obsession that swept through Northern Europe and America in the 20th century. In a sense, the locals have learned to live with the sun rather than fight it or worship it. Another factor is skin phototype. Many Mediterranean populations have olive-toned skin that contains more melanin, offering natural protection against UV radiation. While no skin type is immune to sun damage, people with darker complexions burn less easily, tan more gradually, and have a slightly lower baseline risk of UV-induced DNA damage. That genetic advantage, combined with smarter sun behavior, builds a quiet resilience into the region's public health. But it's not just what's on the skin, it's also what's in the diet. The Mediterranean way of eating, rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and anti-inflammatory compounds, may offer subtle protection from the inside out. Tomatoes, olive oil, leafy greens, fish, nuts, and red wine are packed with polyphenol and carotenoids like lycopene and beta-carotene, which have been shown in studies to help mitigate the oxidative stress caused by UV exposure. While no salad can replace sunscreen, this nutrient-dense diet may help repair or buffer the cumulative damage of everyday sun. Then, there's the question of intent. Tourists flocking to sunny regions often overexpose themselves in concentrated bursts, burning in a weekend what locals would never allow in a summer. Vacationers, especially from fair-skinned northern countries, often see sunbathing as a goal in itself, leading to intense exposure without adequate protection or shade. By contrast, those who live in the Mediterranean incorporate the sun into their daily lives more gradually, with regular but moderate exposure that allows the skin to adapt without frying it into trauma. It's this balance, steady exposure, protective habits, favorable genetics, and a diet that supports skin resilience, that makes the Mediterranean paradox less paradoxical and more a model for sun-smart living. It reminds us that the danger of the sun isn't in its presence, but in how we interact with it. The Mediterranean people haven't avoided the sun. They've simply learned not to fear or chase it. They treat it like any powerful element, useful, vital, and worthy of respect. So the next time you're basking in sunlight and wondering how to stay safe without hiding indoors, look south. The secret isn't less sun, it's a sunnier kind of wisdom,